Many of you had trouble in your practice assignments solving question 11 and 12, so I thought it might be worth it to make a quick video to show you the steps of how to compute for the answers for question number 11 and question number 12. One of the key things is when we are solving for this problem, the easiest way to solve for this is to use an array function so that you can compute it all in one step. So first I'll show you the function, but then I will go into a little bit of details in what the function is actually doing. So create a couple of columns and then show you exactly what is happening within the function. So for question 11, it's asking for you to find the number of individuals that either have income greater than 100 or their education level is either 3 or 4, right? So income greater than 100 and then education level greater than equal to 3. So for this, what we need to do is first find individuals for those that income is greater than 100 or education is greater than equal to 3. A common problem that we incur when we are solving for any OR function is that we don't want to double count individuals. So if someone has an income of 100 and education greater than equal to 3, say they have an education equal to 3, then they're going to fall within this group. They're also going to fall within those that have education greater than equal to 3. So if we are just adding number of individuals that have income greater than 100 and just adding individuals with education greater than equal to 3, just summing that over, that is going to create a double counting for anyone who falls in both categories. So that's the trickiest part of OR functions, that we don't want to double count these individuals. So what we're going to do in one step, what we can do is use an if function to find out who these individuals are that have income greater than 100 or education greater than equal to 3. Once we find in these individuals, we can just take a sum over how many individuals there are, like that. So if you want to do it in one step, the easiest way to do is start with an if function first. So define the if function. So if this individual has income, so this is our income column, so income greater than 100, I'm going to put a parenthesis here because we have two conditions, and then this plus sign, this is like an or sign for or education or education greater than equal to 3, right? And then if they're in either one of the two, this function should give us an output of 1. If they're in neither, then the output should be 0. So that's our if function. So what this will give is a series of 1 and 0s to two observations. It'll tell us how many of them fall in either one of the categories. So it's just a series of 1 and 0. So that's not what we want. We want the sum of individuals that fall in either of the categories. So that's why we're going to add a sum function here. Close that parenthesis. Because this is an array function, like Excel is doing this in its memory. It is creating a column of 1 and 0s for individuals that have either income greater than 100 or education greater than equal to 3. It's creating that column in its memory, and then it's going to sum over it. So for a function like that, because it has an inherent array, we need to use an array function. Controls for an array function. The way you do that is once you are in this formula, hold down Control, Shift, and Enter. So there you go. So we have 29 individuals with income greater than 100 or education greater than equal to 3. So again, if you double click on it, you'll see that the array function goes away. To activate it again, hold down Control, Shift, and Enter. You can see here how it went away again, but once the array function is activated, it shows another set of parentheses around it. So Shift, Control, Enter. Right, so this is for question number 11. So there were 29 individuals with income greater than 100 or education greater than equal to 3. If you got an answer of 36, those 7 individuals, those additional 7 individuals are those that have income greater than 100 and education greater than equal to 3. So it was double counting those 7 individuals. And then for aggregate income, so now it's not just whether their income is greater than, or like income is greater than 100 or education is greater than equal to 3. We also want to find out how much their income is and then take a sum over their income. So if an individual belongs to this group, then if we sum up their income, what is the total sum? So that's what we're trying to find. So it's similar to what we calculated here. So the function looks very similar. So we are still going to we still have to use the if function to figure out who the members of this group are, if their income is greater than 100 or their education is greater than equal to 3. And then same idea, 1 if they fall within the group, 0 if they do not. If we take a sum, it's just going to give us a count of those numbers, but now what we want is to multiply these ones and zeros with their income. So if someone falls within this group, we are going to multiply their income with 1, so their income is counted. And if they do not fall within that group, if we multiply their income with 0, that amount just becomes 0. So it's going to keep record of income for all of those that fall within the group, and then change everyone else's income to 0. So let's do that. So again, the same idea, start with an if function. So if, let's put down our condition. So again, if income is greater than 100 or education is greater than equal to 3, if either of the conditions meet, give an output of 1, if not 0. So that's our if function. And once you have the if function, we're going to multiply this with income. Right? What this will do is if someone is in that group, it will multiply the income with 1. If they're not in the group, then it'll multiply it with 0, making that income 0. And we'll take a sum over this. Okay. Again, it's an array function. It's keeping an array of all these ones and zeros and multiplying it with the income. So you have a whole array within this function, and then we're taking a sum over that. Okay, so to activate it again, hold Control, Shift, Enter. So 2,660. That is the sum of income of individuals that either have income greater than 100 or education level greater than equal to 3. Okay. Right, that's how you get the answers in one step. And if you look at the solution set, this is what it shows. What I'll do is I'll break it down a little bit further to show you exactly what these functions are doing. So when we say that it's creating an array, what array is it actually creating? Right, let me hide these. We don't need any of this. Okay, so you can see exactly what the formula is doing. So to start, let's start with question 11. For question 11, if you see the function again, it creates an array of individuals with like an array of 1 and 0, 1 for individuals that fall within this group, 0 for individuals that do not. So we want to see exactly what happens in this array. Okay. Okay. Let's insert one column over here. Let's call this column, this will be our sets of ones and zeros. So if income is greater than 100, or education is greater than equal to 3, right? So if either one of the conditions meet, we're going to get an output of 1. If not, then 0. So if you look at the if function, you can do the same thing. So if income is greater than 100, or education is greater than equal to 3, give an output of 1. If not, 0. Okay. So this individual over here, income is below 100, education is below 3. So we got 0. The second individual over here, income is greater than 100, education is below 3, but it meets the first criteria, so this should be a 1. So if you see, if I extend this, so income is greater than 100, education, so it fills one of this, so it's a 1. This should also be a 1 because education is greater than or equal to 3. Here education is equal to 4, so we should get like a set of 1. This doesn't meet either one of the criteria, so this should be 0. So similarly, you can fill the whole column. An individual like this has an income over 100 and education greater than equal to 3, so this comes out as 1. So now that we have this whole array of individuals with either income greater than 100 or education greater than equal to 3, if we just take a sum over these ones and zeros, it gives us the same answer of 29, like this. Right? So the function that we saw over here, it just did this whole thing at once. We didn't have to create a whole column of ones and zeros and then take a sum of it. So that's the beauty of the array function, that Excel is able to do that in its own memory. Okay. All right, let's see the second function, what's happening over here. Let's insert another one. So for this one, it's not just finding ones and zeros, but we want to add their income. So we're only going to add income for those that have income greater than 100 or education greater than equal to 3. And so if I create another column that multiplies the income, if the output in this column is equal to 1, it's going to include income for all of those that meet these conditions, but it won't include income for those that do not meet the condition. So someone like this, their income, if we multiply it, it's just going to be equal to 0. So let's do that. So income for I is greater than 100 or education is greater than equal to 3. Okay. So this, all we're going to do is take the income and multiply it with this indicator of 1 and 0. This individual meets the criteria, so we are going to include their income. So by multiplying 153 to 1, sorry, times 1, we get 153. Right? So that's everyone there. So anyone who meets the condition, their income is included. Anyone whose condition is not, anyone who doesn't meet the condition, their incomes are not included here. Okay. So if we take a sum over this column now, you get the same 2006 660, right? Again, by executing this function using an array function here, we're able to do all of this in one step. So I hope this helps. I'll try to create a few more similar videos based on what you are having difficulty with. So getting your feedback, I think, from the practice assignment was actually very helpful. All right, thank you.